Carmela had always been a careful driver. She took pride in her ability to navigate the roads with caution and attentiveness. On a crisp autumn evening, as the sun began to set, Carmela was driving home from work. The leaves had turned brilliant shades of red and gold, creating a picturesque scene. She hummed along to her favorite song on the radio, feeling a sense of peace and contentment. As she drove through a quiet residential neighborhood, she suddenly noticed a figure darting out from between two parked cars. Carmela's heart leapt into her throat. She slammed on the brakes, but it was too late. There was a sickening thud as her car collided with the person. Time seemed to slow down as Carmela stared in horror at the windshield, which now had a small crack where the impact had occurred. She quickly pulled over to the side of the road, her hands trembling. Carmela jumped out of the car and rushed to the person lying on the pavement. It was a young man, probably in his early 20s. He was conscious, but clearly in pain, groaning softly as he tried to move. Carmela's heart ached with guilt and worry. "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" she asked, her voice shaking. The young man winced but managed to nod slightly. "I think so," he muttered. "My leg hurts a lot, though." Carmela immediately called for an ambulance, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. As they waited for help to arrive, she knelt beside the injured man, talking to him to keep him conscious and calm. His name was Alex, and he had been on his way to meet some friends when he decided to take a shortcut through the neighborhood. He had been looking at his phone, not paying attention to the road. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, the wail of sirens filled the air. Paramedics arrived and carefully loaded Alex onto a stretcher. Carmela insisted on riding with him to the hospital, despite the paramedics assuring her it wasn't necessary. She felt responsible for him and wanted to make sure he was okay. At the hospital, doctors quickly assessed Alex's condition. He had a broken leg and some minor cuts and bruises, but thankfully, his injuries were not life-threatening. Carmela breathed a sigh of relief, though the guilt still gnawed at her. She stayed by Alex's side, speaking with his doctors and offering her contact information to the hospital staff. Over the next few days, Carmela visited Alex regularly. She brought him books, magazines, and homemade meals. They got to know each other better, and Carmela learned that Alex was a student, studying to become a graphic designer. Despite the circumstances of their meeting, they found themselves sharing laughter and stories, building an unexpected friendship. Carmela